Hello guys, welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be talking about the previous day's results on Tuesday, the 25th of October. Today is the 26th. So yeah, we're going to be going through and explaining the trades I took. It was a really nice trading day. As you can see, we caught a 1 to 60 here, a 1 to 35 here, and a 1 to 58 here. It was actually really good. As you can see, we caught a huge move up. We didn't catch it all the way up, but we did catch it up to here. But obviously we do take partials, so we don't get the full 1 to 60 or 1 to 35 or 1 to 60 again there, because we do take partials. But nonetheless, we still made an amazing trades. So yeah, that was actually pretty good. I'm happy with it. So I'll be going through and explaining the trades and how I took them. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know if you need any help or anything in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to join the free Discord where you guys can chat amongst yourselves. That will be in the description down below and also in the comment section. But yeah, I'll explain how I caught these trades, and yeah, we'll go through it. Um, so yeah, so how I started. Just before I actually start, I like to say this is for like educational purposes only, and yeah, I'm not telling you how to trade or what to do, etc., etc. Anyway, let's go on to the daily. Um, so I always check the daily. As you know, last time I said, there's liquidity sitting above these highs. We were in the range, but we have broken out of that. But yeah, um, as I was saying, it appears to have made a new higher high, higher low, and now a potentially new higher high. But overall, it still is a downtrend until it really breaks this high right here, I'd say, because that was like the last lower high before this lower low, and then we've had this like lower high here, but we've not had the new lower low made. So yeah, I'd say if price breaks this, then we're potentially back in an uptrend, but we'll have to see how things go. Anyway, if we go down, after doing a little bit of analysis there, drop down to the 4 hour, check how price is moving. Obviously, this is after today, so it would be from like around here. You wouldn't have been able to see that. But if we drop to the lower time frames, like the hourly, you can see basically straight off the bat, there's a lot of liquidity sitting above. We've got liquidity above these highs right here. We've got liquidity above these highs right here, and we've got some liquidity here. So overall, we've got the idea that price is wanting to move to the upside because of all this liquidity that is sitting here, and you've got further liquidity all the way up here. But just looking at the closer picture within the last month or so, um, all the liquidity has been on the upside. If we just ignore this section right here, um, there's currently not too much liquidity on the downside. We do have this, and then not really much here. I mean, there is liquidity below the lows, but it's not as strong as the upside liquidity right here, which hadn't been grabbed. So if we would drop down to something like the 15 minute, actually, we'll drop down to the 1 minute, get straight into it. What we can see is, as I started in London session in the morning, I noticed that there was a ton of liquidity on the top side. I've drawn this out for you just now, but as you can see here, there was liquidity over here above these highs, liquidity above these highs, liquidity above here, relative liquidity. We've got liquidity above here, and above all these highs, and it just keeps going. And obviously, them other highs that I had marked out. So overall, my bias was price should move up to take this liquidity because it's been building up over the last few days. Overall, my bias is downwards, but we were in a consolidation sort of phase, a range. So anything can happen, and price can break above, manipulate, and push back down. We're always looking to get in on like the manipulations. So yeah, so it could have been a buy or a sell. We were just waiting for price to break through um, overall the range and see what happens. And so what I'd also noticed was there was liquidity to the downside, but there wasn't as much as there was to the upside. Because look at the upside, how much you've got. You've got all these different liquid points. and there's another one further left. So yeah, there was a lot more liquidity on the upside, but because there was all this liquidity to the downside, and it was also price was closer to the downside of the Asian range. I expected it to sell off a little bit before it actually pushed up. So generally, I try to look like where the retail would be wanting to enter from if it did push down, and I found like a general sort of retail support area, which would be this. This is it, resistance here, then it turns to support, support right here, support. As you can see, this was a kind of a strong support as the retail would see it. I mean, you can push it back further, and you'll see, this is an overall retail sort of support area. So the retail would have wanted to enter there, but price is always going to, manipulate. And what happened is I tried to look for an area where price may go to for an entry. As you can see, this like that was the 21st of October. It was a while back. We're just looking at 1 minute here, so we're trying to get like a decent entry. So what I've seen is over here it's a nice institutional sort of area. If you go on a higher time frame, like maybe the 5 minute, you'll see that it's a nice like sort of order block region. Let's see on the 5 minute, you'll be able to tell. Where is it? Right here, yeah. Well, the whole thing, this whole area, price will come into, as you can see, it comes in here and it comes in here. But in general, we want to refine this whole sort of area. Price likes to come back to these sort of whole areas. It always happens. Like it's just areas in general. In the market, price will like come back to. It's attracted to. And these like institutional areas. Um, but yeah, on the lower time frames, you can refine that area, and on the 1 minute, you can see I refined it to this sort of area here, and within that, I want a nice like entry. I want to see where price has been reacting from within that area, and it's this little order block region right here within this large institutional area. I mean, there was a little bit of an imbalance over here, as you can see, which we could have entered off of. And I did have some backup entries there, and I had some backup entries on this order block region in case this entry did fail. But I did have an entry right at the top of the candle, and then I had one at 50% also as a backup in case it came to 50%. As you can see, because price tapped the 50% before. But yeah, price likes to tap into these sort of areas. And then I had one near the imbalance and the order block right there. But what do you know? Price came to my first area, tapped in. I only had a 3 pip stop loss because I had the stop loss below the 50% entry. So if this entry would have failed, the 50% one would have taken over. So yeah, I just had the stop loss there to keep it tight. It was a nice 3 pips. And as the liquidity was all the way to the upside, I was doing high targets. I was basing it off of all this liquidity. So overall, obviously the closer liquidity right there that I marked on the 1 minute, but the overall liquidity points right here, I didn't really want to aim above this because I wasn't sure, because it could have just like rejected overall, because there is more liquidity up here and stuff, but I didn't really expect it to move that much in one session. I just expected it to get up to around here and potentially over here. I wasn't really expecting it to like tap into this, but it did, and it created a bit more liquidity here, which we took advantage of today. But I'll show you that tomorrow in tomorrow's video, because I'm uploading once every day of the previous day's results. But what do you call it? So I was aiming overall around here. That's why my targets are around here. I believe I aimed for about 174. It was around 174 pips on the first one, because it was around 1.145 my targets. So around here, yeah. And what I did was, that was my overall targets on the 1 minute. I had that entry, and as you guys know, I like getting secondary entries in. So what I did was, I waited for a structural break. Let me just move this over here. Right. What I waited for next was a structural break. And as you can see, what happened here was price pushed up from there from my entry, pushed down, created a lower high, lower low, higher high, and then a higher low right here. So what I did was I wanted to base my entry off of that. I um, I seen this sort of region right here, as you can see, for the entry, because it structure broke above this right here. The structure broke above right there, so I wanted to base that off of the entry. So what I did was I had one entry at 50% of this. Now I wasn't really sure if I should really be putting this at 50% because it tapped in. But as you know, these sort of things do get tapped in multiple times. Each time it gets tapped, it does go deeper. But I thought I'd place it there anyway, because usually what I would have done is placed it at the top, but this was like it broke up, came back down to the 50% and then pushed up again. But I wasn't really happy with that. I thought it might come deeper, so I placed it again at the 50% ish mark there, and I had a bit of a bigger stop loss on that, a 5 pip stop loss, and would you know that one tapped in. And after that, I thought, you know what, let me try and get a cheeky third entry. Why not? So what I did was the next region after being tapped in, because structure broke up nicely past these sort of areas, but overall it did break past this. Sorry about that. I'm not really editing these videos, so that'll be kept in the video. But anyway, um, yeah, so price pushed up, came back, and came into this sort of order block region. And I usually enter these order block regions on the body, so I entered that one on the body. 3 pip stop loss just under, stop loss just under the structure. If it lost, it lost. I mean, I've got these other two entries, and that one also worked out beautifully. And I caught these 3 trades. I left it at that. I thought, you know what, let me leave it for the rest of the day, see how these 3 trades go. If I lose, maybe come back, try and get another entry. But thankfully, these entries were perfect and they worked out really great. So yeah, that was my trades for yesterday. If you did find some use from this, do let me know. Let me know if you need any more help. And if you did find some use, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And also join the free Discord where you can chat amongst yourselves and talk about the trades and stuff. But yeah, if you did get use, I'll see you in the next video, I guess. Turn on that bell notification, and I'll catch you next time.